Hello, I'm Shane Emanuel. The image I will be discussing is by Alexander Gardner. Gardner was a Scottish photographer who immigrated to the United States in 1856, where he began to work full-time. He is best known for his photographs of the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln, and the execution of the conspirators to Lincoln's assassination. At the beginning of the war, he was working for a man, Matthew Brady, his mentor, who asked him to take photos of the Battle of Antietam. Brady got the recognition for these photos, which prompted Gardner to go out with a team of photographers on his own. Soon he was following the Army of the Potomac. Gardner's exact whereabouts in the days leading up to the Battle of Gettysburg are murky, but it is clear that he arrived on the battlefield late in the afternoon of July 5th, 1863, to snap this iconic photo and several others. This image, titled Home of the Rebel Sharpshooter, was taken July 5th, 1863, 2 days after the end of the Battle of Gettysburg. This battle was fought July 1st to July 3rd and involved the largest number of casualties of the entire war, often being described as the turning point in the American Civil War. Gardner's photograph became one of the most iconic images because it depicted a deceased Confederate soldier lying behind a stone barricade, nicknamed Devil's Den. It was first published in Gardner's photographic sketchbook of the war for public consumption, entitled, quote, The Home of a Rebel Sharpshooter, Gettysburg, unquote. Gardner describes the melancholy scene as he discovered it with the sharpshooter lying prone behind a stone barricade and wondered in his narrative if thoughts of home and loved ones filled the young man's mind as he passed. The image is important because it represents the tragic aftermath of this and other battles by focusing on a single dead soldier. There is more to this tale, of course. We now understand that the scene depicted in the photo was staged by the photographers and was not, as Gardner claimed in his narrative, to be a scene untouched since the end of the fighting a few days previous. Later analysis revealed that he had staged the image to intensify its emotional effect. Though this practice was not uncommon at the time, its discovery made the photograph the subject of controversy. Gardner noticed the corpse found near the large boulders on the western slope of Devil's Den did not exhibit as extreme disfigurement as other men, so it was almost the perfect model to place behind the sharpshooter's den that Gardner considered to be an ideal backdrop for this soldier. He and his assistant, Timothy O'Sullivan, dragged the body approximately 72 yards to his position pictured. The addition of discarded equipment and a U.S. Springfield rifle made the photograph complete and, more importantly, believable. Rather than a disfigured corpse, it was a handsome young man asleep in death, the perfect tragedy as Gardner described it. The man's identity was never revealed, but later investigations speculate he was 25-year-old John Rutherford Ashe of Company A of the 2nd Georgia Unit. Initially, Gardner's photograph did not garner much attention, but in 1865, after the end of the conflict, it appeared as a woodcut in Harper's Weekly. This photograph works in several ways. The first thing a viewer notices is the heavy presence of the rock barricade, having the two large boulders on either side and then the stacked smaller rocks in the middle create a sense of rhythm and repetition along with unity and variety. Plus, the man's jacket and pants mimic the sharp, jagged lines of the smaller, stacked rocks positioned in the middle. The tops and layering of the boulders create diagonal lines which lead your eye into the photo and eventually down to the fallen soldier. I'm not sure if this would count also, but I am fascinated by the textures being relayed in this photograph. The largest rocks titillate between bare, smooth surfaces as well as the fuzzy new growth of moss. As we make our way to the back of the photo, we find the craggy, uneven stacking of the smaller rocks. Then we go down to the man's clothing, and it could almost blend in and be mistaken for the same rocks until we reach his face, which is smooth and softer than all the other areas. Gardner's actions in staging the photograph on July 5, 1863, were morally wrong and unethical by our current standards, but he clearly explained the intent of his photograph in his sketchbook. Quote, "Such a picture conveys a useful moral. It shows the blank horror and reality of war in opposition to its pageantry. Here are the dreadful details. Let them aid in preventing such another calamity falling upon the nation." Unquote. And that is Gardner's home of the rebel sharpshooter.